Hi guys, this is Isha Kapoor and you're watching Vlogish. This video is about a landmark judgment which has been recently delivered by the Indian Supreme Court in the case of Nagendra Saha versus State of Bihar. It also goes on to analyze the jurisprudence on the concept of circumstantial evidence. Therefore, this case holds great relevance for us. Now, whenever we talk about explaining something nicely, whenever we think about going into the depth of a particular case, we know how important it is for a student who's preparing for a law entrance exam, be it the undergraduate program or a postgraduate program, how important it is for the students to learn the law wisely, as in learn in a way by which you can remember it for life and not only cram it once. That is why I always give you the reference of Unacademy. Now that I realize that there are a lot of people on this channel, a lot of students on this channel who belong to the category of those students who are pursuing for the law entrance exams. Therefore, I have brought to you certain programs of the Unacademy through which you can prepare for the CLAT UG as well, CLAT UG exam as well. One of the latest batches that Unacademy is starting is from November 17th. नवंबर 17 वाले बैच में आपको बिल्कुल वो सारी चीज़ें मिलेंगी फॉर 6 months विच आर इम्पॉर्टेंट फॉर यू टू क्रैक CLAT UG in the first attempt. Of course, I won't say that it gives you a guarantee of cracking the exam, but the way the course has been structured will give you the liberty to crack the exam if you prepare with utmost dedication. I won't say that taking classes or coaching is always necessary for clearing the CLAT UG exam. But if you are one of those students who need a guide with you or who need a friend to help you out, I think the Unacademy's teachers, their lecturers, their mobile app will help you do the same. They will act as a guide for you and will make sure that you give the test, that you remember the date of the tests, that you see how you are progressing in your preparation for the exam, that you see whether you are reworking on the concepts in which you did not perform well. Therefore, for those students who need such guidance in their life, this app will definitely help you. And now that you know, if you are a subscriber of Vlogish and if you want to purchase Unacademy's subscription, then they will also give you a further 10% discount. Already discounts are going on and you will get a further 10% discount as well. Whenever we start reading a judgment, first we look at the facts of the case. And in judgments where concepts are discussed which belong to the category of Evidence Act concepts or criminal law concepts, looking at the case laws, facts are very important. Reason being, if the case is on circumstantial evidence, then the chain of circumstances would be established based on the facts, based on the story of the prosecution, based on what the witnesses said, based on whether eyewitnesses were there, whether other kind of witnesses such as neighbors, other people who were present on the spot were there. Now, this was a case where a woman died and it was alleged that she died due to burn injuries. Her family stated so. Her husband, her in-laws, all the people, the family people who were present in that during that time in that house stated that. At the time when she died, her death was reported by her own brother, by her own real brother, as being an unnatural death. And therefore, it was registered as an unnatural death. But then, of course, autopsy was conducted, post-mortem was conducted, and when post-mortem report came, it was found that she died due to asphyxia. Asphyxia means when you suddenly stop breathing due to certain issues, and the doctor said that she has died due to asphyxia because pressure was put on her neck area, around her neck area and around her face area. So it was somehow clear to the investigating authorities that she may have died due to someone's force. हो सकता है कि वो डेथ एक अननेचुरल डेथ नहीं थी, बट वो एक प्लान डेथ थी और बर्न इंजरीज उन पे बाद में इन्फ्लिक्ट करी गई थी. Therefore, the prosecution started building its story. Around 11 witnesses, around 11 PWs were examined. PW means prosecution witness, DW means defense witnesses. Out of these 11, some were neighbors, 4 नेबर्स थे। इस केस में कोई आई विटनेस नहीं था अकॉर्डिंग टू द जजमेंट, अकॉर्डिंग टू वट एवर फैक्ट्स वर ब्रॉट इन टू रिकॉर्ड बाय द एडवोकेट्स, बाय द इन्वेस्टिगेटिंग अथॉरिटीज़। 4 नेबर्स को एग्जामिन किया गया जिन्होंने बोला कि बिटवीन द हस्बैंड एंड द वाइफ देयर वर वेरी कॉर्डियल रिलेशंस, ऐसी कोई एज सच कभी कोई फाइट देखी नहीं गई। There were no problems as such in their family, and they were a really happy family. This woman who has died, the deceased woman, was in a happy married relationship, so there were no issues as such. Then there were other witnesses, were people who who were signatories on the death inquest report. Others were people who produced the post-mortem register in the court. Then one was doctor. I informed you just some moments ago that a doctor was there who prepared the post-mortem report, who said that she has not died due to burn injuries, but she has died due to asphyxia. दम घुटने की वजह से, उनको सांस ना आने की वजह से वो मरी है, क्योंकि उनके नेक पे प्रेशर दिया गया। उसके बाद बाकी के जो विटनेसेस थे वो पुलिस ऑफिसर्स थे, जो कि इंचार्ज थे उस टाइम पे उस पुलिस स्टेशन के जहाँ पे FIR हुई, और जो कि सब इंस्पेक्टर थे, जो इन्वेस्टिगेटिंग ऑफिसर थे इस केस में, वो भी वॉज वन ऑफ द प्रोसिक्यूशन विटनेसेस। इन्हीं प्रोसिक्यूशन विटनेसेस के बेसिस पर प्रोसिक्यूशन ने अपनी स्टोरी को एस्टैब्लिश करने की कोशिश किया। अब हुआ क्या, जब डॉक्टर ने पोस्टमार्टम की रिपोर्ट दी, देर आफ्टर इट वॉज रियलाइज दैट मे बी इट्स नॉट, द डेथ इज़ नॉट रियली ड्यू टू बर्न इंजरी, सो वी शुड रजिस्टर द FIR. But then FIR was registered at a really belated stage, almost after 1 year. And this was one mistake that the policemen did, according to me, because this was one major concern why the story of the prosecution was doubted, why there were certain holes, there were certain loopholes in the story of the prosecution that were realized later on. There were no eyewitnesses in the case. There was no direct evidence in this case that the death was due to, that it was a planned murder, that section 302 is directly attracted, but an FIR was registered under that section, under section 302, and later under section 201 also, for giving false evidence against the husband of the deceased woman. So this appeal came to the Supreme Court. Why? You know the reason. The accused appealed to the Supreme Court, obviously because he was convicted by the lower courts, and then he came to the Supreme Court to so that he can be saved by this appellate court. So what the Honorable Court did was, the Honorable Court looked at various factors that must guide, that must be kept in mind while deciding cases that are based on circumstantial evidence. So this is a case where the chain of circumstances should have been complete, the Supreme Court stated, first of all. Then it referred to a very important 1984 case, which is of Sharad Birdhichand Sarda versus State of Maharashtra. All of us read this case when we read Evidence Act in our law schools. इसमें एक principle बोला था, and that principle is actually a combination of 5 principles that must be established whenever you think that you want to establish a case on circumstantial evidence. हिंदी में पंचशील बोलते हैं, और ये 5 गोल्डन प्रिंसिपल्स हैं, एक तरह से बोलते हैं एविडेंस एक्ट में सर्कमस्टेंशियल एविडेंस के लिए। ये प्रिंसिपल्स, इफ़ आई समराइज दीज प्रिंसिपल्स फॉर यू, आर दोज दैट द चेन ऑफ सर्कमस्टेंशियल एविडेंस शुड बी कंप्लीट, देयर शुड बी नो गैप इन दैट चेन। कोई भी ऐसा गैप, कोई भी ऐसा इवेंट नहीं होना चाहिए जो अनएक्सप्लेन्ड है। मोरओवर, बहुत अच्छे से इस जजमेंट में बताया था कि मे और शैल में और मस्ट में बहुत बड़ा डिफरेंस होता है व्हेन वी कम टू द एविडेंस एक्ट। सो द चेन ऑफ एविडेंस शुड बी सच दैट it should not just be pointing towards the guilt of the accused. It should be such that if you see that chain of circumstances, it should appear to you, it must appear to you that the offense has been committed by the accused. The chain of circumstances, the chain of circumstantial evidences should be so complete. These circumstantial evidence that are given should be of a conclusive nature and conclusive tendency. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि उससे बहुत सारे हाइपोथेसिस आप ड्रॉ कर सकते हो। The only hypothesis, the only assertion, the only assumption that you can take from those circumstantial evidence should be that of the guilt of the accused. कुछ और उसे देख के लगना ही नहीं चाहिए कि शायद ये भी तो हो सकता था, इसे देख के आपको लगे अगर, तो फिर वो माना जाएगा कि circumstantial evidence की chain complete नहीं है. It must show that in all probability these circumstantial evidences show that the act must have been done by the accused. अगर ये सारे प्रिंसिपल्स अट्रैक्ट हो रहे हैं, अगर ये सारे इंग्रेडिएंट्स अट्रैक्ट हो रहे हैं, तो सर्कमस्टेंशियल एविडेंसेस की चेन को डेफिनेटली कंप्लीट मानेंगे। बट सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने इस केस में कहीं ना कहीं रियलाइज़ किया दैट द चेन ऑफ सर्कमस्टेंशियल एविडेंस इज नॉट कंप्लीट, दैट इट मे लीड टू सम अदर हाइपोथेसिस ऑल्सो. But then it was asserted from the other side, it was said that from the side of the prosecution, that in this case section 106 of the Evidence Act is attracted. And now what is section 106? Section 106 is like an exception to the general principle of the Evidence Act. And what is the general principle? The general principle says that the burden of proving a criminal case lies upon the prosecution. So if you want to prosecute somebody for an offense of murder, then the burden lies upon you to prove that this murder has been done by that other person whom you are trying to prosecute, that is by the accused. That burden never shifts. It is now, if you're talking about the shifting thing, it's the onus. We can talk about it later in some other video, but that burden never shifts. That golden rule, that major rule of the Evidence Act remains the same. But section 106 is like an exception to this general principle. It says that there are certain special circumstances in which there are cases like some things are in the special knowledge of the accused person only, or they are in the special knowledge of one person only. Therefore, the burden to prove that situation shifts onto that person, to the accused in most of the cases. Now that section gives an illustration. It gives a very good illustration. It says that A was traveling in a train without a ticket, without a railways ticket, which is an offense as per the Railways Act, and therefore it is in the special knowledge of that person why he is traveling without a ticket. Does he have a pass that he can use? Does he belong to a category where he can travel free of cost? So the burden lies upon him to prove why he is traveling without a ticket, because these facts are only within his special knowledge, right? So in this circumstance, section 106 is attracted. And this is a situation where burden is not on the prosecution, burden is not on the TC, the ticket collector, to show that he has done something wrong, because this is apparent, this is evident that if he is traveling without a ticket, then definitely he has done something wrong. Now there are certain facts which are only in his special knowledge. उसको ही पता है ना क्यों कर रहा था यार बिना टिकट के ट्रैवल, तो वही बताएगा. ऐसे केसेस में लगता है सेक्शन 106. Now the Supreme Court said that we realize that the ambit of this section is not only limited to these kind of illustrations, but अगर हम ऐसा बोलने लग जाएंगे जैसा कि दूसरी पार्टी वहाँ पे बोल रही थी कि मर्डर के केसेस में जहाँ पर वो हस्बैंड एंड वाइफ थे, क्योंकि इस केस में, और वो अपने घर की प्रिवेसी में थे उस टाइम पे जब ये सब हुआ, तो ऐसे टाइम में अगर हम ये बोलेंगे कि घर की प्रिवेसी में थे तो हस्बैंड को पता ही होगा कि वाइफ के साथ क्या हो रहा था, और मर्डरर को तो पता ही होगा कि उसने मर्डर किया कि नहीं किया, तो ये वाला फैक्ट तो उसकी स्पेशल नॉलेज में है, तो वही प्रूव करेगा. तो इट विल बी लाइक वी आर मेकिंग अ मॉकरी ऑफ द जनरल प्रिंसिपल ऑफ द एविडेंस एक्ट, which is the burden lies on the prosecution. Prosecution cannot say that we have shifted this burden to the accused on the basis of section 106 because it is a murder case, because it is a murder case between a husband and a wife, and the husband and the wife were alone. So now the husband will, it will be assumed that the husband committed this murder, and now we will not prove it, but the husband will prove it according to section 106 because the fact is in his special knowledge that the murder has been done, and we will now presume कि आपने किया. अब आप बताओ, आप बोल रहे हो आपने नहीं किया, तो बताओ क्यों नहीं किया. Knowledge, the burden is not upon us. तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने बोला this is wrong. This is wrong as per the Evidence Act. This cannot literally be done. This is not right as per the law. And I do agree with the same. I do agree with this proposition which has been propounded, which has been reiterated by the Honorable Supreme Court of India. सेक्शन 106 उन्हीं केसेस में लगता है एविडेंस एक्ट का जहाँ पे कोई ऐसे फैक्ट्स हो, कोई ऐसी सिचुएशन है, कोई ऐसी पेक्यूलियर सिचुएशन है, कुछ अलग सिचुएशन है. इट इज़ एन एक्सेप्शन जहाँ पर कुछ ऐसे फैक्ट्स जो उस पर्सन की, जो अक्यूज्ड पर्सन की ही स्पेशल नॉलेज में है और जो और कोई नहीं बता सकता है. मोर ओवर दिस वॉज अ केस वेयर ऑल द विटनेसेस दैट वर एग्जामिन्ड, इवन द Even the mother of the deceased woman stated that this incident occurred when the deceased woman was preparing milk, boiling milk for her child, and she got a fire. Her sari got fire and she got burns. Her father-in-law stated the same. Everybody who was present in the house stated the same. This was not a case where the husband and wife were alone in the entire house. A lot of family members were present in the house, and even the neighbors, their testimony was very consistent. All of them stated, all the witnesses stated that they immediately took their bahu, their daughter-in-law, to the hospital. They saw when fire was coming out. They sensed that there is fire somewhere, and when they came out of their houses, they saw that everybody was trying to help the daughter-in-law, take her to the hospital and take her for the first aid medical care, but she expired when she was traveling to the hospital. And the person who got the death registered as an unnatural death was the real brother of the deceased woman. That is why the Supreme Court stated that this chain of evidence is not complete, and we cannot see that the guilt of the accused has been established beyond all reasonable doubts as per the rule of circumstantial evidence. They said it has not been done, and that is why we want this appeal to succeed. And we are now setting aside the order that was passed by the lower courts, and now the accused cannot be convicted. So accused was set free. I hope you understand how section 106 applies in a particular case, how the chain of circumstantial evidences should be totally complete. These were the two very important principles that were laid down in this case. और आपने क्योंकि शरद बिरजीचंद सद्धा का केस भी मैंने आपको डिस्क्राइब कर दिया है, तो आई थिंक यू शुड रिमेंबर दैट. नाउ आई कुड रीड दिस जजमेंट बिकॉज द वर्डिक्ट टुडे डिलीवर्ड देयर जर्नल्स टू मी. आई थिंक यू कैन नॉट सी इट, सो आई विल ट्राई टू शो इट फ्रॉम द अदर साइड. Yeah, so here are the journals. The verdict today delivered the 3-4 copies of their journals to me, and this is volume 15. This is for the month of September. In 1 month, they delivered 2 journals, belong to my own college only, and I think this journal is good enough if law students want to subscribe to it, if lawyers want to subscribe for it. Though I never subscribed to a journal when I was in law school, because it was readily available in the law school library, but for those law students who want their articles and all to be published, you can definitely consider it. You can take a look at the verdict today's Instagram page as well. They are available there also. It is called The Verdict Today. And I'd like to thank the founders and the editors of The Verdict Today for delivering these copies of their journals to me. I read this case of Nagendra Saha through this journal only, and they have described the judgment in a very good manner. What they have done is they first give you a brief about the judgment. They tell you who were the counsels. They tell you who was the bench involved in this case. They tell you what all cases have been mentioned in this case, what all jurisprudence has been described, and thereafter they also tell you the law laid down in very brief. Thereafter they go on to give the entire judgment to you. तो आप बहुत सारे लोग होते हैं, lawyers specifically होते हैं, young lawyers होते हैं, जिनको चाहिए होता है कि कोई ना कोई journal को subscribe करें. So you can do this. It comes in around 2,000 rupees for a year, less than 2,000 rupees actually. I do not remember the actual amount, and this is not something sponsored just because they sent it to me out of their love, out of their concern. Therefore, I am telling this to you guys. I think if you want to subscribe to our journal, The Verdict Today is a good option for you. And with this, I'd like to end this video. I hope that you were able to grasp the concepts of circumstantial evidence and that of section 106 of the Indian Evidence Act. And I hope you found this case useful as well as informative. Thank you for watching this video. I'll be back very soon with a new video on a new concept. Bye for now.